Hey, everybody. Good to see you. Jim Masters here, your host. In just a second, the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series is going to start. And boy, do we have an amazing guest, veteran television and film, amazing actress and director. You've seen her in just about everything you can think of. Sex and the City, The Silence of the Lambs, War Games, Curb Your Enthusiasm, All My Children, you name it. Chris McGinn, live from New York City, is coming up next right here on the Jim Masters Show Live. You ready? We are in 3, 2, 1, go. Hey, everybody. Welcome. This is Jim Masters. It's good to have you with us. It's Friday night. We always have a good time with you every night of the week. We are live worldwide on JMS Live. It's been a busy day here. I was on the air all day in my professional work in radio and television. So I have been talking all day. Plus, we've been very busy. Boy, are you going to be so excited when you hear about some of the other episodes and the other extraordinary things we have planned coming up throughout September, October, and throughout the rest of the year as we've kicked off our second season. We are saying September is the second season just because, you know, that's sort of that back to school feeling. Summer is coming to an end, fall, my birthday, September 24th, just a lot going on. So technically, the start of our second season was back in May because we launched the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series in the very beginning. It's like the tail end of April, early May of 2020. So technically, that was the start of the second season. But hey, I guess we did an extended first season, and we're considering this the second. New open. How do you love our flashy new open with our new theme music, custom for our show, the animated logos and graphics and all the cool new things, just like that. And really snazzy. We worked really hard. We spared no expenses. We only want to deliver the very best for all of you with our Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. How are you doing today? I hope you're having a good day. If you're not, well, then you guys know, stick with us. We'll put some smiles on your face. We always learn something new. We always have a good time together. And I'm here to inspire and entertain as best as I can with that old school quality of Dick Cavett and Johnny Carson, some of the best TV hosts and presenters and personalities, which is what I do for a living in television and radio, and with our light, love, and levity and our levity. Good times, special guests from Broadway, Hollywood, television, film, music, science, and nature, health and wellness, culinary arts, comedy, sports, inspiration, life. So good to have you with us. And we toast you. We toast you. A fancy green glass tonight. This was a family heirloom. This was my Aunt Gertie's. Gertrude, my mother's oldest sister, my mother youngest of 16. I think you've heard that probably a few times on our show. We toast you just with some nice, refreshing lemonade iced tea tonight. That tastes good, especially when you've been talking all day. Look at all those comments. We're live right now, beaming all around the world on JMS Live. Keep those comments coming. Couple of things before we welcome our extraordinary guest live from New York City. She's sort of bi-coastal. She's in New York. She's in LA. Right now, she's in New York, but she's always in Hollywood on every set you can think of. And again, yeah, All My Children and Sex and the City and Late Night with Conan O'Brien. I mean, I know her. I'm a fan of hers. She's an incredible actress. You've seen her in so many things. She's a director as well and voiceover artist. And just a really cool person, Chris McGinn, joining us in just a second. But first, a couple of things. We would love it if you subscribe to the YouTube channel that you're watching right now. You know why? That really helps this show big time. And we would welcome that. And there's no cost. I know they call it subscribe, but there's no cost to it. You just click on it, and it just means you're following the channel and you believe in what we're doing here on the Jim Masters Show Live. So click that red button you see on that Jim Masters TV YouTube channel. Subscribe. We would love that. We would love that. Count you in here with us. And thanks to those of you who have done that already. And if this is your first time watching the Jim Masters Show Live, we welcome you too. We have a lot of faithful, lovely viewers who are with us all the time through thick and thin, and we love them. And if you're joining us for the first time, we welcome you, whether you're watching live or perhaps you're watching this later in the archives. So we would love it if you subscribe to the YouTube channel. And also click the notification bell. That's that funky little bell icon that you see that is next to the red subscribe button. That's really important because that way there you can be notified, you can be alerted when we're coming on live with more fabulous guests and great episodes, and also our surprise pop-up shows that we do as well. Yeah, sometimes they just pop up and we do an incredible conversation, host chat, levity chat, back and forth. And we've got a couple more of those planned as well. So welcome to the JMS Levity Squad, as all of you guys call yourselves, and I love that. First time watching, again, it's great to have you here as well. As we mentioned, subscribe to the YouTube channel and also give this episode a thumbs up. That's that little thumbs up that you see on the YouTube channel underneath the episode. Click that, click the like or thumbs up button. We would love that. That helps us too, because when YouTube sees that, they take this episode and all the episodes and they blast it out to more people. Also, when you leave a comment, and thanks to those of you who have been writing comments on our YouTube channel, telling us how much you've enjoyed specific episodes and everything we're doing here to entertain you and inform and educate and just have fun with you guys. So thank you very much. And also, as we always say, share the levity, spread the word, tell everybody you know, not just in your house, but get on top of Mount Everest or jump on that Hollywood sign or wherever you are. Climb to the very top of the Eiffel Tower if you're in France with your bullhorn and say, hey, are you watching the Jim Masters Show Live? You should. It's awesome. Thanks, guys. And of course, during the live chat, we have something very special called Super Chat, Super Stickers, Super Emojis, Super Thanks. And a lot of you have been doing that too. That helps support our show live during the course of the program as well. Let's check in first with some of our fantastic lovities. And Toby says she was the first one checking in. Good to see you, Toby. Toby's watching in Southern California. Good to see you, Toby. And Alessandra is here from North Carolina. Hi there, lovities. And Jim, good to see Alessandra. Sherry Larson is saying hello to everybody. Ready for the weekend? Yes. We're going to be here tomorrow with Lee Tannen, author of I Loved Lucy, my friendship with Lucille Ball. He's here tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. And good to see you in Kansas, Sherry. We always like to greet our viewers who work so hard by tuning in and faithfully commenting. We love that. We love that. Let's check out some of the others. Joan Sando is here. Thanks, Joan. And you've been commenting beautifully on our YouTube channel as well. We thank you for that. Welcome, Chris, to Levity Hall. I love that. And Alessandra is welcoming Chris to Levity Hall as well. And Dawn is welcoming her. Love that, love that, love that. And a couple more we'll check in, and then we will welcome our very special guest, again, veteran Hollywood film and television actress and director Chris McGinn is here. Merlin is watching in Ontario, Canada, and she says, thumbs up. She gives us a 3 thumbs upper. I love that. Thank you very much, Merlin, in Ontario. And hello, Jim and all lovely friends. Welcome, Chris, to the show this evening. Yes. Absolutely. Is that green glass filled with Arnold Palmer? Yes, it is. It's that iced tea lemonade combination, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Anne has had a very rough work week there in Southern California. Glad to be among family. You're always among family here at JMS. Absolutely, my friend. You know where to come to get, charged up and have a good time. Good time. And Lisa Rodrigo is here. Good to see you, Lisa. Thank you very much as well for your support of our show and your love of the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. We love having you here as well, and continue to spread the word about our incredible series we have here. 478 episodes live, just about 7 days a week is extraordinary. Love it from Toby in Encino, California. We love that as well. Not a lot of shows actually greet or acknowledge or welcome the viewers. They just start talking. A lot of the shows that are on YouTube and elsewhere. I'm very big in my television world and radio world and on this series to greet people, as best as we can in viewership, the Lovities, everybody that's here. Toby says, everyone, absolutely. Good to see you as well. And Anne says, hello, everyone. I'm so happy to make a live show this week. So good to have you here as well. Love it, love it, love it. And a couple more coming in here. And wow, a lot of people are watching. Good stuff, good stuff. All right. So thanks for all of these comments. Happy weekend, Jim and Lovities. From Merlin and Kathy Short, who's watching in Cleveland, Ohio. Hello, Jim and Lovities. Welcome to the weekend. You got it. Lisa Rodrigo says hello with hearts. We love that as well. Lisa, thank you very much. From New Jersey, right? New Jersey, the Garden State. Alessandra says, hi there, Lovities and Jim. Good to see you guys as well. Gang, speaking of seeing, you have seen my guest on just about everything. I thought I was here, there, and everywhere, on television, on radio, and everything else. I don't know. She is prolific. Let me just show you here just a few, because we'll talk about it during the course of the show. Just a few of the things that she has been involved in. The Sopranos. Yeah. Why don't we start, right at like top level right here. And yeah, Orange is the New Black. She's been on that. She's been on Sex in the City. Just sort of ringing the bell for you here as far as the word prolific, as far as an actress, director, voiceover artist. Curb Your Enthusiasm on HBO. Yes. And she's been on Ed. And she's even been on Bringing Out the Dead. Yes. And so many others. Mickey Blue Eyes. That's just to name a few. Look at the lineup there too. I mean, Hugh Grant, James Caan, and so many others. Jessica Jones on Netflix and 100 Center. And again, these are just a few. Yeah, take a look. And of course, Kidnap. A lot of people know her from Kidnap with Halle Berry. That was very riveting as well. Law and Order, Special Victims Unit. I was on an episode of Law and Order as well. And also Lights Out, which was a short-lived series on FX. Law and Order is terrific. They filmed that the Chelsea Piers there, Chelsea Way in New York City. The Silence of the Lambs. Yes, we mentioned that. She was actually in that as well. That's a phenomenal one. My Own Love Song. These are just a few, folks. Netflix original, 7 Seconds. Yes. How dare you block my face? Hey, wait a minute. Who's doing that? Oh, I think maybe I am. Sweet and Low Down, a Woody Allen film. These are just a few. House of Lies. I mean, are you exhausted yet? Wonderland. I mean, she's very good at what she does, and that's why. How about a little Al Pacino and You Don't Know Jack? And Love Repeat, and just a few of the incredible television shows and series. All My Children, I mentioned as well, the soap opera. She's amazing. Let's just tell you a little bit about her. Versatile actress and director, best known for her film and television credits, Kidnap with Halle Berry. And that, of course, was unbelievable. And My Own Love Song with Renee Zellweger. Of course, you know Renee Zellweger as well, right? And there is Lisa, and it's such a pleasure to have her here with us. Tell you just a little bit more about this prolific actress. The Silence of the Lambs, Sweet and Low Down, as I mentioned, Orange is the New Black, You Don't Know Jack, Curb Your Enthusiasm, The Corrections, House of Lies. Her theater credits also are highlighted by the acclaimed Long Wharf production. We were just talking about Long Wharf, legendary place in Connecticut. The production of Camille as well. Additional work includes bringing out the the Dead, directed by Martin Scorsese. Mickey Blue Eyes, directed by Hugh Grant. Law and Order, SVU. Late Night with Conan O'Brien, and so much more. That is just the short list. She's also an acting and improvisation coach as well. Yes. And we'll talk a little bit about some of that. And it's an honor and a pleasure to have her live from New York City. Won't you join me live on the Jim Masters Show Live, welcoming my very special guest. She's all seated, ready to go. Chris McGinn. Welcome, Chris.
Hey, hi, Jim. How are you?
Good to see you as well. See, I sort of built that up. So, Sex and the City.
You said Sopranos. I've been in everything there ever was.
Yes, did we? I think that did we go? We missed War Games. I mean, so what I wanted to do is I wanted to build that up, and then at the apex of that is you're on the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series.
The pinnacle of my career is the pinnacle of the career right now.
And on top of that, you are, as designated by our viewers already, because I see the comments coming in, you're a lovety. You are now one of our lovelies.
Oh, thank you, everyone. I appreciate that so much.
So, as we always say, I mean, you can get Oscars and Emmys and Tonys and Tellys and Grammys and Peabodys. But when you get a lovety from the Jim Masters Show Live, are your feet tingling right about now?
I am honored. I've only been on like 3 minutes, and already I'm winning awards. I'm thrilled.
We just went through 30 years of your career.
Yes, pictures. Exactly. They're everything I've ever done, I think.
Yes, right. Amazing woman. Absolutely. Lisa, you got that. That is spot on. Linda Odell is in Florida, and she says, welcome, Chris. You're a lovety now. Jane is watching in Sweden. She says, welcome, lovety Chris.
Wow. Sweden. I've never even been to Sweden. I would love to be there someday.
Yeah, she's in Sweden where it's like late at night, but she's always here. She's a faithful lovety, like all these fabulous folks and all the folks that are watching that don't necessarily comment during the show, but they're watching. Brilliant actress from Toby in California. Dawn says, I love her shows. Linda loves the photos and all the different shows. Hello, everyone. And Jim. Great long resume of many things that I've watched. That Toby says that as well. I told you, she's one of those actresses you've seen in so many different shows. All excellent shows and movies. I knew that I saw her. Yes, absolutely. I have always loved horror movies. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I mean, there isn't anything that she can't do, and it really hasn't done. Welcome to the family, Chris. So happy that you came to the world famous Jim Masters Show. I love that. I love that. And really? All this lovely here. Silence of the Lambs, of course, a great movie as well. Yes. And Linda says, good evening, Mr. Lovely. Good evening, lovely. It's good to see you as well. And Sherry Larson in Kansas welcomes you as well. That's just the short list of some of the lovely wave coming your way. And
I say thank you so much. I am thrilled to be a part of it.
If she had known, she would have had an acceptance speech all written. And,
exactly.
Spotlights and the whole bit.
I'll be awaiting my little award.
Yes. So how are you? You and I were chatting before we went live on the air. The world has changed a bit. A lot of times you do spend a lot of time in LA and Hollywood on set, as well as in New York and other parts of the country. You're in New York now. Tell us about how you've been doing through everything that, we've been experiencing, that I keep saying multiple times. I think the only people that could have scripted what the last 18 months or so has been like would be maybe Rod Serling from The Twilight Zone, Steven Spielberg, Stephen King, maybe even George Lucas.
Yes,
how have you been?
I agree.
Yeah.
I've been good. I mean, it was hard in the beginning, not knowing what's happening. And it was, I think it was scary for everybody in the sense that everything just stopped. There was no sliding in or out. It just stopped. And so that was really what I found the hardest for the pandemic for me. I was in New York at the time, and that's kind of my home base, even though I go to LA as well. And so I really tried to keep my finger on the pulse and keep the business happening. And at the same time, everyone was just kind of not doing anything for a while. And then little by little, I got to work on a film, which I was really excited about, that was about the pandemic.
Really?
And yes, I play a woman who steals toilet paper from a Chinese restaurant.
So you're that one.
Typecasting. And it was great fun. And the film was made by a new director, and he's in the process now of trying to possibly pitch it into a bigger film. So I can't really say a lot, but it's really a really great little story. And I was honored to be a part of it. And then I got to work on the Michael Che show. Yes. From Saturday Night Live, and that was a blast. And so I just tried to stay in the mix as much as I could, and at the same time know that it was meant to be a time to reflect and take a little breather and just kind of see where life was going to go.
What are some things that you've learned along the way as you've been able to have a few free moments to sort of soak it all in and pause and breathe and not necessarily have to be on the sets or be in midair flying from coast to coast? What are some things you've been able to do for Chris?
I would say, other than I'm a diehard Yankee fan, have to throw that in the mix. I can't help myself for that. But as far as like personally, I think that it has been a great time to be able to reflect and be appreciative. And I know that may sound a little corny, but just to be grateful to have friends and to be in the business and to the fact that so many people that I know and love and have worked with reached out to me, and I tried to reach out to people just to bond together, come together in a different way. So I found that really healing and inspiring, given the circumstances that we were all comparing notes and looking out for each other. And I just found that really powerful.
So how did you first get into the business? What was sort of that entree for you into the world of entertainment and television, film, and theater?
Right. Well, I'm from St. Louis, and I went to college at Truman University, which is in Kirksville, Missouri. And the week after I graduated college with my teaching degree, so I would always have a backup for theater, speech, and English.
Very smart.
Came in a Ryder truck with my 3 friends to New York City a week later and got an apartment and just tried to kind of break in wherever I could. And for me, it was interesting because at the time, you felt like if you didn't go to Yale, you didn't go to Juilliard, if you didn't go to one of the, high-end education schools for arts, that there wasn't going to be much to do. And so what I really tried to do was audition for everything, be a tech person if I needed to, stage manage a play, do whatever it was that I could get to know people in the business, make friends, do workshops with people so that they would know me and my work. And I just kind of pushed my way in because I really didn't have any of those high-end schools on my resume. And I got little non-union things here and there, but ironically, my very first union job was Silence of the Lambs.
That was the very
so
first
nothing
one.
Like starting with the Oscar winner movie. That was the best.
I tell you, right?
Yeah.
Now, what was that like being a part of something, as beloved as the Silence of the Lambs? I mean, like you said, coming right out of the gate to be involved in that is quite extraordinary.
Well, when I first got asked to be in it and I got cast, my agent at the time said she didn't think I should do it. Bless her, because she felt like, she said, it's either going to be a huge hit or a real bomb, and we're not sure that you want to be associated with it, and you have to decide. And I just really trusted that with Jonathan Demme, with Jodie Foster, with Ron Bozeman, who was one of the producers at the time, for the film. I felt like in meeting them when I had auditioned, I had met Ron Bozeman, who had run the auditions. I felt like this was really going to be a great experience, and it was really worth it for me to take that chance. And so it was kind of scary until we filmed, because every week they would call me. I got booked in the movie, and then they kept calling me every week to do something different. So one week I'd be getting like a mold made for my mouth so that they could test it. And then the next week they would call me and say, listen, if we pull you out of a river naked in the cold in Pittsburgh, is that okay? And I was like, sure, go ahead. It's whatever you want. And then the next week after that, they called, can we pull you out of a drawer in a morgue? So every week was something new while they were figuring out how they were going to shoot things. So
I was going to say, were they trying to tell you something? Or?
Exactly. So I was like, oh my God, my first job, what have I done? And but I was so excited, and they were such cool people that I just thought, oh, this is really going to be great. And as it turned out to really be such an amazing experience. And it was my birthday while we filmed. So here I was all done up in like dead makeup with a robe on. And if you look at the 30th anniversary, or I guess it's the 20th anniversary video of Silence on the Lambs, there are pictures of my birthday party, where me standing there dead with a birthday cake with Jodie Foster and with Jonathan Demme. So it was just a beautiful experience. It was creepy and scary and weird, but it just was, I thought, oh my God, what am I going to do after this? It was so crazy.
And it's celebrating an anniversary now, the Silence of the Lambs, right? It's hard to believe. Is it 30 now?
Yeah, it is. It's crazy that it's been so long. It's sort of like, oh my gosh. And it was fun because I was going for all these makeup test shoots, which is an interesting fact, that the guys who were doing my makeup, Carl Fullerton, who was the head makeup person, they originated the Coneheads on Saturday Night Live.
Saturday Night Live, yeah.
And a great movie that was called FX that had these amazing special effects, and they did all the makeup for that. And so, I would go to their workshop, and they would be gluing things to me and talking and saying, hope you don't mind. And I'd be laying there thinking, what have I done?
What did I sign up for?
Exactly. But it was wonderful. It was such a wonderful experience. And coming full circle, I got to, a couple of years ago, do 7 Seconds with Jonathan Demme, and before he passed away, and he picked me. And it was lovely. It was so lovely because he came up to me, which shows you with being sick and everything that he was going through. He came up to me to say, I wanted you to know that the producers said to me, you are the woman for this part. He said, I didn't have to say, I want her. He said, they wanted you, and I wanted you to know that. He said, and then he made a big speech. He was like speech in front of everyone when I was done filming. And here's Regina King, who's the star of the show, and everyone's standing around. And he said, this is Chris from Silence of the Lambs, and I promised that we would work together again, and here we are in a full circle moment. And and it was just beautiful. It was so beautiful because then a few months later he passed away, and I felt like what an amazing full circle I got to have.
Yes, right.
Quite beautiful.
And that's something that you're going to take with you literally for the rest of your life.
I feel very honored and that I've been able to work in the variety of stuff that I've gotten to work in with so many people from different walks that I've gotten to watch or be directed by, or, like with Al Pacino, just to sit and watch him work for a week, and watch him walking around in his process was just so cool.
The only way you got on that set is, Jack.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I auditioned for 3 different parts for that project.
Did you really?
And for Barry Levinson, and it was it turned out that he called the casting person. He's like, we have to give her something, and she's not going to work as a cancer victim who's starving to death. Like, no, that's not me. And and I don't know about a state trooper. He said, so let's make her the jury foreman. And I was like, oh my God, how great. Because then I get to sit and watch everything in the trial. And so that was it was phenomenal. It was so much fun.
And
just
what was
to see him work.
Yeah, I was going to say, to see him work and to see the other cast, you're talking top-notch crew and talent, including yourself.
Thank you.
What was that like?
Well, what was so great about like watching Al Pacino is you're there thinking everybody wants to watch him. And at the same time, what he's really doing is asking for direction and trying to come up with ideas and wanting to be his best. He's not just there saying, let me do what I do. He's wanting to be guided, and he's, when he's looking at you and talking to you, you feel that presence there because he takes it so seriously.
Yeah.
It meant the world to him. And I got to be in hair and makeup a lot of times when I was there, when he would be there, and he was getting into character and talking about him and talking as him. And it was really a great case study about the intensity that he put into that role and the kind of work he puts into something.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, obviously, as you do as well. And that's why you're picked for such a breadth of opportunities. The Sopranos.
Thanks.
Tell us about how this happened.
Well, I had auditioned a couple different times for The Sopranos, and finally I was lucky enough to be picked to be a waitress in the bar. And it was the whole storyline with the character whose name I can't remember, but he was the guy who was gay and kind of hiding it, and he was having a relationship he didn't necessarily want anyone to know. And so of course I worked in the bar where he hid it out in, because that's my theme is I'm always like the bartender or the hooker or the nun or the waitress. Those are as my friend Cynthia said, I'm the real people roles. I'm always the
one that
working
everybody
the working man's actress.
Exactly. And the one that they pour their heart out to, and they tell their troubles to.
Exactly. If they want upscale, it's not me. I don't get seen for those. It's like, she sleeps on the street, she's homeless. How about Chris? Let's talk to her. So it's kind of that kind of thing.
Joe Sandow says, I love Chris's personality and humor. That is so lovely. Thank you for coming to the Great Jim Masters show. Love it, love it, love it.
Having me.
Toby in California wants to know, how hard is it to break character in real life? Usually I like to ask that too. When you get so immersed, maybe it's because you do such a variety of different roles and characters, you can move on to the next, but it's not like there's one that you have for like 30 years and you get so identified just with that character and then sort of typecast. For you, when you have a role that's intense, a role that really takes all of your stamina and your fortitude and your resilience and your energy, how do you separate the role from Chris? Or is there a blending sometimes? Obviously, there's elements of Chris in the role.
Well, I would say a good example for that would be doing Kidnap, because Kidnap was 6 weeks of a role that I got hired over Zoom, like we are talking today. I didn't meet anyone until I showed up in New Orleans in person. Everything was done through my audition, and everything was done through conversation. And all of a sudden I'm in New Orleans for 6 weeks. They called on a Thursday and they're like, be here on Tuesday for 6 weeks. So wow. I had 3 or 4 scenes that were the ones that I kept having to audition with and redo for them in different ways. And so in a certain sense, I felt like they knew me and liked me as an actress. So, and ironically, I'll tell you a little thing, which was when it came time for my Zoom interview with the director, they wrote to my manager and they said, Luis, the director, would like to meet Chris on Zoom and talk to her for a few minutes. And so we set it up, and he comes on, and the casting woman, who's lovely, introduces him and says, we're so happy to have you to talk to, and thanks for doing this. And he gets on the Zoom and says, he's Spanish, and in my bad Spanish accent, he's like, Chris, we needed to know if you were Margot. I said, what? And he said, we were afraid you were Margot, so we needed to know you were a nice person. And so I said, well, that's why it's called acting. And he said, yes, I know. And so it became the theme when he cast me, that was I nice Chris or was I mean Margot?
Right.
Because my audition was online and in Zoom, and I wasn't there in person, I stayed pretty much in character through all my audition stuff and videos and things, because they didn't have a chance to. I know I can be friendly, but they needed to know I could play this role against Halle Berry. So as far as being in character, I would say for me, it helps. I have a coach, Kay McGregor Stewart, a wonderful actress and coach, and she works with Marissa Tomei, who happens to be a friend of mine, and she's worked with Tyrese and a lot of other people, and she's wonderful. And I prepped with her for the audition, and then when I know I have the role, I'm prepping with her and coaching to prepare different scenes. And I have like for each character, I have little points, whatever that may be, like where she's from or what she's thinking or what's going on in the scene, different kinds of pieces of information that will help me to lock into that character. So that, like when I was filming with Halle, we'd stand around and we'd be laughing and we'd be talking. And then it would come time that I'm supposed to beat her up, and she and I are fighting in the car. And so it was really about knowing who Margot was and
Is that
she
scene in the tunnel?
Yeah.
That's riveting. I was watching the clip on the reel. That goes on for a while. I mean, what was that?
It was intense, and we did it in a
you,
car.
or were you in a stunt? Was there a stunt double in for you, or were you actually in there?
I did a lot of, she and I did the fighting, and she and I did the car with stunt coordinators. And then I also did have 2 stunt people in the film. And my main person, Devin McNair, who's a wonderful stunt woman who I adore. She loved me because I was big and tall, and so I could get her work, because she's this beautiful, big, Amazonian blonde. And she did fall out of the car while it was really moving. I fall out of the car while it was going slow. So she could do the rougher stuff, but I did a lot. I mean, I fell out of a car and I beat her up. And I have to say that Ruth Carter, who's costume designer, who's won an Academy Award and is a wonderful lady, she came to me and she said, I just want you to know this is the first movie that I've worked with Halle where she hasn't gone to the hospital with a broken bone. And I think that's because of you. So I was flattered, because we rehearsed and she and I would talk, and the stunt coordinator would go over it with us, and then she and I would talk about it. And so it was great. I mean, it was, but I knew who Margot was.
Yeah.
And when I needed to, when the camera went, off, then I was able to be myself and laugh, because I really know I'm not her, I'm not, with a killer dog and stealing children. It's not my nature. So I feel comfortable enough.
You heard that here first, folks.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. I feel comfortable enough to go to those, darker places, because I feel those people, like for me, she was misunderstood. And I know that sounds kind of silly, but she was trying to make her life better, and in it she made it more of a mess, and to this day of disaster in the movie.
Absolutely right. So then when you're not sure what to do, you hop on Sex and the City.
Yeah. That was
Talk about a
that was
segue, huh?
yeah, now that was the first season actually, and it was
Yeah,
I was in these they had promotionals where people would talk about like their sex life or do these little speeches, and then they
yeah.
would incorporate their story into it. And so I was getting to do those little promotional things, talking about not my sex life personally, but the one they wrote in the script that I got to exhibit. So that was fun. I didn't get to interact with them, but you could
Yeah,
tell that it was going to be a really fun show.
yeah.
And and sure enough it was. The only thing when you guest star like on one episode, or like Jessica Jones is so wonderful for Marvels for me because it was recurring. A lot of times, like I was on Law and Order 3 different times, but they have to let time pass and they have to make you look different, and they don't want someone to go, oh, you were this person this year and this person that year. So once you end up on something, if you do it as a day player, then you may not get a chance to get to be on it again because it's they don't want to see those same faces. Isn't that the same person I saw last week playing a different character? And
Now, years
it's not like
ago, you used to see that, like when you see the TV
exactly
shows and the movies,
right.
you're like, wait, that was the guy who was Mr. Whipple in the Charmin commercials, but now he's playing a
Exactly.
drunk in one of those shows in the 60s. Yeah,
Yeah.
they would use a
Exactly.
lot
And
of
like with
character
Conan
actors.
O'Brien, when I did Conan O'Brien in New York, which was such a blast to get to do sketch and I got to do many different sketches and days, different episodes and things. They wanted a core of people that you would recognize and people they could trust. And in the old days, when I did that show in New York, what they were doing, Jose Arroyo, who's a wonderful writer and a
Hmm.
comedian, and went to the show when it went in LA. He was my neighbor and knew I was an actress, and introduced me, and then they liked me, so I got to be on all these other episodes. But it was really, what they would do was they would write more sketches than they needed, and then you
Yeah.
would come in at 1 o'clock and you would do them on the stage for Conan, and then he would say, I want that one, that one, that one, no, that one sucks, that one. And that would be how it worked.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, I had a blast on there, but I will tell you a funny, quick thing, which was I was on there for a sketch, and Jose came up to me after the sketch. We were like dress rehearsal, and Jose comes over to me and says, I want to ask you something. You can say no, don't worry. He said, but they want me to ask you. So I said I would. Please don't be offended. I said, what are you going to say to me?
What a
And he's,
buildup. Yeah.
I know exactly. And he says, they want to know if you would play Dennis Quaid's naked butt in a sketch. I said, what? And he
Was that
said,
your exact reaction?
That was exactly my reaction. And Dennis Quaid was coming on, and he had been in a movie and he'd shown his butt in the movie. So they wanted to like do the sketch. And because I was, big and tall and, not a teeny weeny little girl, they thought I had, I guess, the size of Dennis Quaid's butt. So they wanted to pay me lots of money to show my naked tush as Dennis Quaid.
And
I did not. I was so tempted for the money, but I thought, no, I really don't feel
I
like.
have my values.
Listen, I was naked in Silence of the Lambs with stuff glued to me. I'm not gonna play Dennis Quaid's butt. I'll maybe my own butt, but not his.
Talk about butting in, I tell you.
Honest to God, I know. So that is what I really. I mean, I had a blast on that show, but that was really
Conan.
that was
Yeah,
the highlight.
absolutely.
And isn't that? I was just, oh my gosh,
You
what they
know,
ask you to do in Hollywood.
yeah. Linda goes, "Oh my
Hollywood and New
word."
York.
Yeah. Merlin in Canada goes, "What?" And Toby goes, "Too cute." And Sherry Larson's laughing her head off in Kansas. And Linda in Florida says, "Oh my word." And Jane is laughing her head off in Sweden.
Oh, good.
I have a little bit of a brief, limited Conan story too, to play off what you're talking about. I was invited for dinner at my dentist's house with his wife and the other dentist. There are two dentists, they're partners, and their wives are also in dentistry as well. So I get invited for dinner, and because we've known each other for years. They do nice work. No cavities.
Lovely work.
I just had my exam. No cavities.
Excellent.
And
I need to go there.
So we're in the kitchen, and they're getting appetizers ready. And there's a big TV screen in the living room, and the Oprah Winfrey show is on. And my dentist's wife, again, she's also a dentist as well. They're pouring wine, they're getting cheese and crackers together, and then I guess dinner was in the oven. And we're watching that. We're in the kitchen, but you can see the big screen TV in the living room. And she goes in and she goes, there's my brother again. And I'm looking at the screen and I'm like, wait a minute, her brother. I'm seeing the Oprah Winfrey show, and I'm looking at Oprah talk to Dennis Leary.
Oh.
And I'm saying, wait, is Dennis Leary your brother? Because her name is Betsy Leary. And, but she uses her husband's name. So she said, yes, that's my brother. And I bet he's talking about the family again and all this other, because to her, there's Dennis Leary on Oprah, and to her it was her brother. That's
Right.
my brother. That's my bro. He's talking. And then she said, oh boy, I wonder if he's talking about our cousin too. I said, well, even just knowing that your brother is Dennis Leary, which I didn't know. I didn't put the Learys together.
Right.
And you see the similarity when you look at them. They're from Massachusetts, and she goes, Jim, ask us who our cousin is from Brookline, Massachusetts. The brother is Conan. The cousin is Conan.
Cousin's
Her
Conan.
brother is Dennis Leary, and their cousin is Conan O'Brien.
I had no idea that Dennis Leary and Conan were
O'Brien are cousins.
I knew they were friends. I didn't know they were cousins.
From Massachusetts.
I knew they were both from Massachusetts.
The Irish contingent and all.
Yes.
So
and he's a Red Sox person.
No, they're the Red Sox. Red Sox.
Red
Yes.
Sox.
Red Sox.
Parking the car.
Park the car. Exactly. Yes. I know with relatives in New England. Absolutely.
Oh my God.
But it was just ironic. With the Conan story that Conan's cousins practiced just my dentistry.
That is crazy.
I tell you.
I have an Oprah story.
Oh, do you? Let's hear that.
Well, it's like 1 degree of Oprah. Unfortunately, it didn't make the final degree. But what happened was a dear friend of mine, Janice Dosky, who works as a producer, was doing a show that was how when they had these TV specials, and it was a special with all these talk shows. It was like a Phil Donahue anniversary special.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And they were having all these talk show hosts on the show.
Yeah.
And the highlight of the show was supposed to be this sketch where they're all talking about what to do. And then Oprah comes in like, hello, and does her thing. And
you get a car, and you get a car, and you get a car.
Exactly. And so this is actually before probably the car even. But so I was there to be a stand-in, a union job to get paid. And I got to be Barbara Walters and stand at the mic and say what Barbara Walters was going to say as an introduction. And I got to play these different characters. There were a few of us there, a couple guys, a couple girls. And all of a sudden they say, okay, let's rehearse the talk show host sketch. And everybody's, well, like, where's Oprah? And they're like, well, her plane isn't here yet. She's not here. And so I got picked to play Oprah Winfrey in the sketch with all the real talk show hosts for their dress rehearsal. So I'm there with Montel Williams and Phil Donahue and Sally Jesse Raphael and Geraldo Rivera. All these talk show hosts and me. And they do the sketch and I'm doing her lines and, they do their thing. And I come in like, hello, and, and I do my thing. And so then we're done, and we have like a dinner break before the show's going to film live. And we go to sit down to have dinner. They have these tables for all of us with dinner. And
Yeah.
Geraldo Rivera comes over to me and sits down and says, when they make the Oprah Winfrey show, you should play the white Oprah Winfrey because you were fabulous. And then, of course, she showed up like 15 minutes later, and she came and played herself in the sketch, and no one knew that it was me. So, but I had my little moment with being Oprah, and that's always been my thing. Like, my dream is to meet Oprah and say, I got to play you in a sketch. And she'll look at me like, who are you?
And I was going to say, and as a result of playing that character, that's why you have all those books on that bookshelf, because you started your own book club too, right?
Yes, exactly. It got me reading. She's taught me everything I know.
That is funny.
I love her. I think she's amazing.
Yeah.
And wonderful inspiration.
And her friend Gail King, who I knew through the CBS affiliate in Hartford, Connecticut.
Oh, yeah.
Work for WFSB and Eyewitness News there.
And she is hot now.
And now, and their new studios there in Times Square, CBS Mornings, the whole gang
and
there.
She's running the show.
She's pretty much,
Yeah, she's doing great. Absolutely. She's wonderful. I think their story is so amazing that,
Isn't it?
Best friends that really just have been together forever. Her and Gail, Oprah.
Absolutely, through thick and thin. Yeah, you were exactly right.
I appreciate that.
Here's another one. Orange is the New Black. We were showing that.
Well, I have
got a story about that one too.
I do have a story. Well, not quite as crazy, but what happened was I kept auditioning for that show for different roles, and what happened was I auditioned for this episode as a nurse, and Jodie Foster, full circle moment, was directing the episode. And I've seen her a few times since Silence of the Lambs, and she's been lovely, and we've talked, and it's been, it's been lovely connecting, in our little moments and stuff. And so I had auditioned, and she was the director, and I didn't get picked, and I was kind of bummed because I was sort of like, damn, she knew me and she didn't pick me. What happened here? And then what happened was on a Sunday night, my manager called me to say, they want you on Orange is the New Black and the next episode. And I said, what are you talking about? And she said, I forwarded you an email, read the email. And it said, in essence, that the next episode had a nurse, and it was similar to the part that I had auditioned for, and that they wanted to give me the role if I wanted to come do it. And Andrew McCarthy was directing the episode from the Brat Pack. And so that was cool. And I thought, well, this will be really fun. So when I got to set, I was walking around and talking, and one of the people who worked on the show, one of the producing people, came over and said, we're so happy to have you here today. He said, Jodie said that we should use you. And she felt so bad that it didn't work out for her episode. So she said, you better put her in that next episode. And so it was like this very cool full circle moment that they were telling me that. And I got to find out that she had, said, put that girl on the show.
Had she remembered other work with you, you think?
Yeah, well, I think she's from Silence of the Lambs, and then she saw my auditions from, when I did audition for that episode for her. And I think throughout the years running into her, I'd run into her in New York and in LA and at a play and different things, an event where she was speaking, and I got to see her after. So I think it was just like a combination of things that she stuck up for me.
Which is really...
And when we did Silence of the Lambs, what was interesting, one of the things about that film was there were only 3 women on the set. Me, Jodie Foster, and Ron Bozeman's wife, who was one of the producers who I mentioned before. His wife was working in production. And so we were the only 3 women on the entire set. And so there was kind of a little bond there for that reason as well. Besides the fact that I was, supposed to be naked and dead and take hold something in my mouth and, have the cocoon stuck down my throat and have them pop my jaw and pull it out. And so there was just all these elements of it where we all kind of stuck together.
You have been poked and prodded and everything.
I have. I've been dead. I've been
resurrected, and
I've drowned.
You've done the punching and you've been punched.
Exactly. Drowning and kidnap. I've just done it all. I've had a few comedic things here and there.
How about All My Children?
All My Children was a blast. Yeah. Oh my God. Well, the story for that, which is like for any actor to appreciate, is I wanted to work on TV, and I hadn't really had TV experience. I had a degree and I had done a lot of theater, and I thought I was going to move to New York and be on Broadway and do off-Broadway plays. And instead I was getting cast in film and TV all the time. Yeah. And so I didn't really have a lot of experience at that. So I kind of pushed to get on the soaps, because at the time, the soaps were a great way to get paid to be in front of a camera and see how to work and see how to use it. And so I pushed and they liked me on All My Children. And so I got to do extra work. And then I got promoted to a day player, as they call it, which was this customer in the Glamorama. Then the Glamorama was going to be set on fire. And then I got a phone call from the producer's office saying, we want to write 2 characters that work in the Glamorama and run the beauty parlor, Ethel and Irma. Will you be Irma in the Glamorama? And I was like, no, I'm sorry, I'm too busy. No, I didn't. I was like, of course I will. I'm thrilled to do it. And so my friend Barbara Hoyman, Babs Baker, as she is now, as she and I got picked. And ironically, they didn't know we were roommates at the time. And they picked her and I, kind of like, Laurel and Hardy, to be the Ethel and Irma in the Glamorama. And I got to do it for like 8 years, recurring parts, and go to weddings and funerals and fires and murders and trials and all kinds of stuff. It was just a blast. And I learned how to be in front of a camera and all that kind of stuff about acting. So it was a blast, such a blast.
Absolutely. And again, it just shows the breadth and scope of the incredible amount of things that you've had an opportunity to be a part of. Curb Your Enthusiasm as well.
Yeah, that was a blast.
Yes. Boy, he does such an incredible Bernie Sanders, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Oh, he's so great. And it was funny because I got to do Curb when they were in New York. They filmed a bunch of episodes out of New York. And what was funny was they picked me, cast me, I showed up. I go to hair and makeup and they say, you're blonde. And I was like, yes, I've always been blonde.
Right. Is there an issue there?
At least in front of the camera. And they said, oh, well, we need you to have brown hair, so we're dyeing your hair. So literally, like within 15 minutes, they were dyeing my hair dark brown. And I was like, and they said, oh, don't worry, it'll wash out. You've seen that commercial on TV with Dawn and the ducks, and they wash the ducks with the oil. That's what they said to me. They said, well, just use some Dawn. It'll take it right out of your hair. And so they dyed my hair brown, and we filmed in the streets of the Bronx, and it was a blast. And he was very cool with me. My scene wasn't actually with him because I'm in a famous episode called the Mr. Softy truck.
Oh, yes. Remind us about that.
Him as a little kid. Yeah.
We grew up with Mr. Softy.
Yeah, and it was him as a little kid. And I'm the neighbor making fun of him because he gets involved in a strip poker game and ends up naked. And in front of all the neighbors.
And so how does the Mr. Softy truck play in?
Well, because they were playing like strip poker in the Mr. Softy truck. He is a kid with this girl he likes, and he's losing because he ends up naked.
I didn't see that episode. I don't know how I didn't see that episode.
And the Mr. Softy,
we grew up with Mr. Softy.
Mr. Softy episode, he comes in and catches them naked, catches him naked, the little boy. and he's like screaming at him, and he goes running out in his underwear in front of all the neighbors, and I get to make fun of him, and it was a blast. It was really fun shooting in
Did
the
you get any
streets
ice
of New
cream
York.
out of the deal?
There was no ice cream on
Oh,
that truck. It
their
was really a
soft serve
bummer,
vanilla is so good, like
but I got a
Carvel.
lot of overtime. You can appreciate that part of it from a union
Yes, yeah,
perspective.
absolutely. And the Mr.
So that
Softy
part was
people
fun.
probably enjoyed having the name too. And that's one of those melodies in the truck that you hear from childhood on, and it
For
just sticks
sure.
with you. It sticks with you.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
Again, showing the versatility, as we've mentioned, the Silence of the Lambs, Sex and the City, the Sopranos. I mean, extraordinary things. Law and Order, Special Victims Unit, on NBC. Like you mentioned, several different times, right?
Yeah, I was on that show twice. I was on the regular Law and Order twice before it went off the air. And I was on the premiere episode of a new show they were going to have called Law and Order Trial by Jury.
Oh, I
And I
remember
got to
that.
be
Yeah.
I got to be in the first episode. And what was cool was that they cut all the promo from the first episode. So I was in like that whole, it only ran for like the first season, one season, but every time the commercials ran, I was a part of the commercials, and I was like, woo!
Yeah. Yeah.
That was fun. And they were doing it kind of from the jury's perspective, but I think it was a little, people want the story. They want the guts. They don't really care about us sitting there in the jury room
Isn't that
debating how it went.
when you think right?
They don't
Um,
care.
yeah.
They want the
Christine,
blood, the guts.
yeah, I was a court officer when
Oh, you said. Cool.
when I got that call it was from Central Casting. The
Good
Central
for you.
Casting had called and said, Mr. Masters, are you available to be on set in Manhattan, the Chelsea Piers there in southern Manhattan, on Law and Order, from the original Law and Order, and we want you for the role of a court officer, and that was really, really cool. And working with everybody, it's top notch crew and talent. I mean, you're dealing
For
with
sure.
the real
I was
deal.
on one episode. I had 2 episodes of that, and one episode was so great. I was playing a detention supervisor, looking over this boy who'd been in trouble, and it was with Jerry Orbach and with Jesse L. Martin.
Yeah.
And every time between takes, they would break into song and start singing songs and stuff. So it was like, not only was I getting to be acting with them, but they would sit and sing these songs in harmony. And I thought, oh my God, I'm getting a concert as well.
You're getting a concert.
It was so fabulous.
Yeah.
And I love Jerry Orbach. I thought he was such a good guy. And I knew him a little bit from 42nd Street when it was brought back as a revival on Broadway, because one of my friends who I moved to New York with, Tony Parisi, was in the original production of 42nd Street.
That's
on
right.
Broadway. And he ended up directing companies of it and going on to do some other shows and stuff. But so it was like, there was Jerry Orbach and Jesse L. Martin singing away. And I was like, he was on Ally McBeal and now he's singing with me. Watch it. It was great.
Goes around, I tell you. Absolutely. Here's another one. Ed.
Oh, that was so much fun. I was picked to do, I got to be, we were in a bowling, he ran the bowling alley, right? And they were in the bowling alley a lot. And so I got to be in the bowling alley, and it was so much fun because I love bowling, and I used to bowl as a kid, and I was really good bowler.
You too? I was on the bowling team in high school.
So was I. And then when I came to New York, I was on the Broadway Show League, and I won a trophy as the best girl bowler on the Broadway Show League because all the girls didn't want their nails to break, and so they were afraid to hold the balls. And I was up there, you can imagine, and I was like, I couldn't wait, and I ended up winning a trophy. So here I was getting to be on Ed. I was on TV. I actually had been in London visiting Kathleen Turner to see her in a play, and they called and said, you're going to be on the show this week, and I had to come back early from my London trip.
Yes, London, yes.
To film in the bowling alley and show off my bowling skills.
Wow.
It was fun. It was
Did you ever see You probably have that hysterical. It makes me think of this hysterical clip. It is, I think, on YouTube or somewhere, or you can get it on DVD or what have you. The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson and Madeline Kahn, of
Oh,
course, the amazing comedian Madeline Kahn, who
right.
left us way too soon. She
Yeah.
had this deadpan, dry sense of humor that was just, she can deliver a line and knock everybody out and keep that deadpan face. And Johnny Carson had asked her, they were talking about something. The clip is on, the internet. You can see it. It's hilarious. The audience goes wild when she says this. And the way she delivers it. They were talking about phobias. And,
Mhm.
he asked her, do you have any phobias? And she said, well, I don't really think I do. I haven't really, Johnny, ever gave it, a second thought. I never really thought about whether I have phobias. And then she looks at Ed and she says, I just don't really, I have no idea. He goes, oh, you must have something. We all have. Some people, they have fear of heights or fear of snakes. Or she goes, oh, well, Johnny, she goes, I do have one fear, one phobia. She says, I don't like balls coming towards me.
I remember that. Oh my God. That is hysterical. That show.
That's a great laugh you have. I love that laugh.
Oh, thank you.
That was cool.
Thank you.
A little Phyllis
got
Diller
up.
in there.
Thank you. I was so into Johnny Carson and the Tonight Show. Oh my God, I lived for it.
He was the master.
Yeah,
I was Dick Cavett, some of these.
Yeah, I just would sneak up to watch TV, and I couldn't wait to watch the talk show and see all the stars on it. And
his reactions, the facial expressions.
I wanted to be on there. I was like, oh, I want to be on there.
Yes. We had John Davidson was a guest on the show a few weeks ago.
Oh, that's so cool.
And we talked about him hosting That's Incredible and the John Davidson Show and Hollywood Squares and $100,000 Pyramid and all the movies and stage, Broadway, everything. And he was I think as far as musicians, he filled in as host for the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson more than anybody else, John Davidson.
That's so cool.
Yeah, when
it's such an honor and a legacy. He just was amazing.
Yeah,
so funny.
He posted something I couldn't believe after our interview, and then we went up on a vacation in New Hampshire, which is where he lives. He has a little venue called Club Sandwich, a little entertainment venue in Sandwich, New Hampshire.
Oh, okay.
And he has entertainment on the weekends. He performs on the weekends, and then during Wednesday through Friday, other artists come in and perform, and he celebrates them. So he's living his bliss in New Hampshire.
That's
and he posted something that he's been posting a few things on my social media lately, and just really, we hit it off. You know what I mean? I always admired his work, and he posted this. I couldn't believe it. I mean, he said, he was talking about me as a host and as a personality and radio and television and all this. And the way he wrote it, I go, wait a minute, this is John Davidson writing this publicly on the Facebook. And he goes, Jim Masters is the real deal. Everybody else is faking it.
Oh, wow. Like, that's so great.
That is John Davidson saying that.
Isn't that great?
Wow. I tell you, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And
pretty,
then
cool.
He said he's been interviewed by thousands of people, and it was the best interview he's ever had in his entire career.
Well, as you say, well, you say even from the beginning, you're including your viewers, you're including your guests. Yours really is about the communication and the talking back and forth and having a relationship. And a lot of times people are there just to plug something. I mean, obviously I can talk about all the things I was on, and that's great, and I loved it, and I love sharing about it and, and reliving it, and and educating people about certain things. But I think that there is an intimacy that you bring out, which is really wonderful, and I'd seen from other interviews, so I think it's amazing.
I appreciate that. I'm
no John Davidson, as as they say in politics, but I think you're pretty great.
Watch out. Now they're going to call you and want you to play his butt or something.
Yeah, exactly. Something like, could you go on a sketch?
Could you go? I
Oh,
appreciate
listen.
those words. Well, I tell everybody, even in the professional work, I say these aren't interviews. These are conversations, and there's a
Yes.
big difference when it's a conversation than just an
Yeah.
interview. Because sometimes, the person that's doing the quote unquote interview is really just there for themselves, and you're the extra. You know what I mean? I'm the
Right.
host. You're the extra. Oh, and there's people watching too. Well, we won't even acknowledge them. They just watch. And I look at it like we're all on equal. I may be the host. I might have my name on the top, and I might be doing all this work to put it together.
Right.
But once the lights go on, you're in it, they're in it, we're all in it together. That's how I look at it.
Right.
We all have something to contribute, all something to say, all something to give, and all of something to learn from one another as we're
Right.
doing it.
I love that. And I also think, like with me, I'm grateful, obviously, for the opportunities I've had and the people that I've met, and all those things are wonderful. And I also believe that part of my ability to manifest them, create them, attract them to me is because I really do work on believing I belong there. And that
Yeah,
doesn't mean that I'm above anyone else. It just
right.
means that, when I was with Hallie, we were laughing because when we're doing like water scenes and stuff, she was on my back, and she's really like this big, on
Yes.
my back, like a little child sitting on my back. And I was joking because at one point I said, who'd have thought that I'd have Halle Berry, riding on my back? And she's like, Mama, I'll ride on you any day. And we were just laughing, but it's because I do believe that I belong in that circumstance. You know what I mean? I get picked, then it's meant to be mine. Then I'm comfortable to make the best of it as myself, And I think that that's what's great with you. You know that whoever you talk to, you're happy to talk to and open up to.
Exactly right. Beautifully said.
Thanks.
I think you've got my number. You figured it out
Well, I certainly
exactly.
have your Zoom page. That I
That's
know.
it. Right, or our secret streaming service. Exactly.
Yes.
Here's another. Um,
That was so much fun. Oh my
I love the
God.
reactions that the guests have
Well,
when these pop up because they don't
exactly.
know what. Like I don't tell you what we're going to show next, so it's like a
Right.
surprise as opposed to having it all planned out in advance. Okay, this is next. I like the surprise element of what you're seeing and your reactions. Like, oh,
Right.
that was fun. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Tell us
Well,
about this
Jessica
one.
Jones was so great for me because I was in season 3, I think. There's 3 episodes. I mean, there's 3 seasons. And in the first season, I wasn't there. In the second season, I got asked to be a bartender in a scene with her. And there was a banter and we hit it off, and she was lovely with me. And we just really seemed to hit it off as me being the bartender when she came to have drinks. And I had a few scenes. And what ended up happening was when the season was going to come out, they
Hmm.
used our little blurb together, our little banter, as a
Yeah.
promo, and it got like 10 million hits.
Did it really?
Oh, it's just insane. And so then I was like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And so I was so excited. And then what happened was they wrote my manager and said, would she be interested in coming back and playing that character again in the next season? And, being in a few episodes running the bar. And it's like, no, I'm sorry, I'm really busy. Of course, again, I'm like, yes, of course I will. And so I got to come back, and it was so fun because when I came, people like applauded, and Kristen came over and said, I'm so happy that you're back, and I think you're wonderful. And it just was very moving to know that you make an impression. I mean, I know I had fun
Hmm.
and they liked me, but to have them write you in and give you a character and stuff to do and make you recurring was pretty cool. And they had a lot of stunt stuff, so that was fun. Breaking glasses, sugar
Oh,
glasses
you
made
got to
out of
do that
sugar.
too?
Yeah, yeah, it was festive. And I had to serve a lot of drinks. I got to pour a lot of drinks and be a bartender.
Is that
So that
why
was
your
fun.
whole house is filled with nothing but paper plates and plastic cups?
It's just
Because
a
just
view.
just in case you take your work home with you,
Yes, exactly. I'm always on the go. I'm
you're
afraid
always
of
on the
play. I'm afraid of real plates. No, I'm
right.
kidding.
You never know when you're going to get that phone call. Uh, and then you're
Exactly.
bringing out the dead.
Ah, yes. I have a funny story about that one. I got asked to be in that movie by production and casting. And what happened was they had me come to a costume fitting and makeup and come be the character. And they had said
Mm.
that we were supposed to be hooker housewives. And
Huh.
so I came, they said, "Do you have anything?" And I said, "Well, I'll bring you what I think I have." And I brought some clothes and ideas and things, and I came to, the wardrobe department, and we had to all get dressed, and then we had to go out on the
Mhm.
street, and we all had to stand and line up. And then
Wow.
they told us Martin Scorsese was going to come out and look at us. And
Mm.
so we were all standing there, and he gets to me, and he says, "You make a good housewife." And I said, "Thank you." And he said, "You make a good hooker." And I said, "Thank you." And he says, "You're the perfect hooker housewife." And I said, "Oh, thank you so much." Meanwhile, the thing to know was I showed up in my own clothes with my own, chocolate colored nail polish. And they went, "It's perfect. Go out there." And so I was like, I don't know that I should be flattered that they think I look like a
They
hooker
didn't
housewife in
need to
real
make
life.
you up or change
They did
anything.
nothing to me, and he said I was perfect. I was his perfect idea, and meanwhile, there were my clothes, my hair, my outfit. And I was truthfully not trying to come in costume. So I don't know how flattering that is, but I got to be in the movie with Martin Scorsese. So that was fun.
So that's, hey,
Exactly. To be a perfect hooker housewife, like I said, it's,
double H.
what can I say?
Yeah, it starts off nice at the housewife, and also the hooker, and
Yeah, exactly. Well, exactly. And here I was so excited to meet him, and all these things. And
gee,
then he's like, "You're a great hooker. You're a great housewife. You're a great hooker housewife." I'm like,
oh
oh
my
God.
God, that is,
Gee, thank you so much.
yeah. Here's another one. Mickey, Eliza,
Oh, I
Showbiz Philly,
love Hugh Grant. Oh
Hugh
my God.
Grant, James Caan. Yeah, tell us about
Oh,
this.
yeah, that was really fun because, well, I'll tell you, when I auditioned for that movie, I auditioned at a callback um with Hugh Grant and with Elizabeth Hurley because they were producing the movie as well. And what was happening, which I didn't know, was they had already shot a lot of the movie and they were trying to add some scenes in and some ideas. And so they were coming back to create some things. And they had told me to audition as a tourist. So I went in and I did it, and I did it with someone. They had told me well, try do it with a Southern accent when you do it and whatever. They hadn't told me that. Casting had told me. So I went in and I auditioned with a Southern accent and played the
Hmm.
role. And when I left, the casting woman came back in and she said, "They want to see you again. If you could come back in the room." And I came back in, and he said, "You're really funny, and I really like you." He said, "Could you do it again with a Southern accent?" I
With a
said, "That's what I just did."
That's what I just
And
did.
he said, "Well, I'm a Brit. What can I say?" And so
That is
they just
funny.
laughed, and then I ended up getting the role. And what was cool was that he was directing the scenes that day. And so I got to be directed by him. And my funny little thing was, at one point I was doing the scene, and we did our stuff, and this other guy David and I with James Caan, are rehearsing, and then Hugh comes over to me and he starts talking, and he says, "So I love what you're doing." He said, "And I think you're really funny." And I said, "Well, thank you so much." And he said, "So just keep doing what you're doing." And I said, "Just, try to be funny like you." And he's like, I'm the director now. I'm not being funny. Now you be funny.
No,
And
you
I
be
said, oh,
funny.
no pressure from Hugh Grant to tell me to be funny. And so it was really a blast. It was so much fun. And then at the
Wow.
premiere, he was adorable. And then years later, which was great, I am friends with and also work with Marissa Tomei,
Oh, sure. Yeah.
helping her learn lines for plays and movies and things like that when she has projects that she wants some help with. And so she was working on a film with him, and she brought me to set. So I came walking in and he was like, I know you. I was like, yay, he remembers me. So
That
that
is
was fun. I
funny.
got to hang with him for part of the time for that shoot too. So
That
it
is
was quite
incredible.
festive. And we filmed in the streets of New York on 8th Avenue and like 15th Street.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, so that was fun
So
to be
yeah,
out in the middle of the street.
just anything can happen, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Speaking
With
of New
Hugh
York,
Grant telling you what to do. Oh gosh, that movie. I loved doing that. I was so honored. Schenectady, New York was
yes, yeah.
obviously being Philip Seymour Hoffman alone. I just thought he was an amazing actor. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and this is one of those, I've had a few odd jobs that I've gotten where they've had me audition and they've just said, why don't you just improv? There have been no lines. So they
Mm,
just give you an idea and then they
yeah.
tell you to just kind of make up the character. So I made up my character, which was this woman at a funeral. I was saying, giving my condolences to him for the death of his mother. And I made up some different things, and Charlie Kaufman was like, that's great, do something else. And so you feel like you're like, dance monkey dance. And so I'm just, kind of trust that whatever I come up with in the moment is going to be in character with what I've thought about the character for the movie. And I got cast, and I got to be with Michelle Williams and with him, and he could not have been sweeter and nicer. And another person, kind of like the Pacino thing, where he really wanted to be in character. He really wanted to be kind of on his own. He was very nice and friendly, but he wasn't into joking around in between takes and stuff like that. He was really trying to stay in character and do his thing. And I just was excited to be
Yeah,
around him. And then
yeah.
years later, I got to see him again when I worked on Doubt. I did some
Mm,
kind of glorified
yeah,
extra stuff, and
yeah.
he was there, and so that was cool.
It's
A sad
incredible.
loss. Amazing
Yes,
actor.
extraordinary, right? A genius in many ways.
Yeah, for
Absolutely.
sure. And I think
Yeah.
that's unfortunately part of
What
what
sometimes
happened.
happens,
Yeah,
right? Exactly.
exactly. A
Robin
little too much to
Williams.
handle.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. This one too. Yeah.
100 Center Street, that was a blast. I got to be in AA meeting, and that was Sidney Lumet. And Sidney Lumet picked me, which was really cool. And I got to be with Kate Burton, who at the time was, I knew who Kate Burton was because she was Richard Burton's daughter, but
That's
she
right.
wasn't as she wasn't as established as now. She's considered just this amazing character actress that's been around a long time. But she was a regular to the show, and I got to be a guest on the show, and it was great. It was great to be directed. It's like that, it's those little moments, to know that you had Sidney Lumet talking to you, or Woody Allen telling me to improv. He came up to me when I did my stuff with him with Sean Penn. He's like, you know what to say, just make it up. And I said, do I get credit for the
Right.
script?
For making it up, right?
And he sort of looked at me like, really? Are you asking me that? But I was just being funny, but clearly I was just like, oh my God, that was so funny. But it's those moments, 100 Center Street, sitting there and knowing that Sidney Lumet picked you is really cool.
Yeah. I mean, again, just these experiences, they can all definitely be in a book.
Ah, thanks. My own love
They're
song.
all
I got
part
to
of your
go to
own
New
love song.
Orleans. That was filmed in New Orleans,
New
and I had
Orleans,
so much
yeah,
fun. Renee Zellweger couldn't have been cooler, and that was a blast. Really,
yeah,
a lot of fun,
yeah,
and she was lovely. Same, my experience. Thank God, with everybody that I've ever worked with, they were
yeah.
so nice and so much fun, and just so real. And I've been lucky not to be in circumstances where people are really kind of jerks or mean or horrible. I've really had just the best experiences where
Which is sometimes
they,
rare. Yeah,
yeah, well, especially because I'm not coming in as a star.
right.
I'm there as a day player and I'm supposed to blend into the story. I mean, that's one thing I learned in when you're not a recurring role and you're doing the guest star, the one, 1 or 2 days or whatever it is you're doing, you're only in the one episode. They want you to fit in. And so you're not supposed to like, oh, this is my moment. You're supposed to be able to just, be natural and blend in with whatever's going on. And so I've been really lucky that way that they've, have had these great experiences.
Yeah, where you've blended in ways where you sort of stand out but blend in at the same time, if that makes any
Thanks.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
yeah.
I hope for that. I mean, I want to look. I got picked on one of the Law and Order episodes by Eric LaSalle, who was
Sure.
on ER,
Yeah.
and he was directing the episode, and he went on to do a lot of Chicago PD and a lot of different episodes. But when he cast me, he came over to me when we were filming and he said, I want you to know that I cast you because you were so real and so honest. And that's what I want you to continue to be today. And it's
Mm.
like, you go,
Yeah,
okay,
right.
I'll try.
Well, he sees so many people and he can spot the honest and real and the
Yeah,
non-honest and real probably really quickly because they see so many people and so many
yeah.
people try to overcompensate, and that doesn't last very long. You've probably even
Well,
worked
and
with people where you see they're trying just too hard if they just let it
right,
ride. And you teach people. You're a coach, you inspire,
right.
you probably work with people to help them sort of get over themselves, get out of their own way.
Well, I want people to find their own uniqueness because what I was about to say, which is exactly that, is I am not the skinny mini little girl that they're going to cast as the ingenue all the time. And I had to believe and see that there was a place for me, and seeing, Kathy Bates in Misery and going, I wish that were me. I could do that, or watching Rosie O'Donnell, be funny and start to be an actress as more than just a comedian stand up, not just, but you know what I mean?
Sure.
She branched out. Those kind of people, actresses made way for characters like me because I'm accepting in a good way of who I am and how I am and that there is a place for me.
Right.
And I don't know, not to be funny, but with all the like plastic surgery and things that go on sometimes, I will get it when they
Sometimes.
say a real I know. They'll say, real people. We want to see you because you're real. We
Yeah.
want to see you because you look like like I look
The
natural.
housewife and
Yeah, exactly.
we don't, we don't have to
Not
do anything, right?
I'm not done up to the nines doing all that stuff that people do.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's
War
fun.
games.
War games, that was a blast. It was a quick little thing, but it was so exciting. I didn't really even know what I was doing. I had done
Really?
this audition, and then it turned out to be, this live kind of video game film, and I didn't. It was very kind of secretive, and I couldn't tell anyone, and I got to be the maid in this crime scenes and stuff, and it just was really fun. I had a blast.
Mm.
I'd never really gotten to see it,
Oh, really?
and I've wanted to kind of dig it out. There are certain things like you have access to, getting copies of, and other
Yeah.
things it's like
Yeah.
hard to locate. And I think because it started over in England and then it was going to be here, um, that's made it harder to be available over here.
To get it right,
Because they have to
exactly.
pay for the, residuals and stuff like that, which
Exactly. How
people who
about
are acting know.
yeah, absolutely. There's copyright and all these things involved with all of it. Absolutely. How about Wonderland?
Wonderland, that was really cool because it was one of the first shows that Ron Howard's company, Imagine,
Right.
with Brian Grazer, were producing for TV. And again, it was one of those things where I did this audition and they wanted to find something for me. So they made me I was an EMT, like regular,
Oh yeah.
bringing in all the different patients and people to the hospital, so that was kind of cool. And also, on a kind of a sad note, full circle, Michael K. Williams was in that was one of the first things he was getting
Yeah.
popular in, as a regular on that show.
Yeah.
And he was lovely while I was there, but I was kind of running in and out, calling they're not breathing, and that kind of thing. And but that was really fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like that particular one, it's fun when you get to go to like a table read. Like I got to go a table read, for anybody who doesn't know, means that they invite you to come and sit around this big room and this big table where everyone from the cast comes and reads the script out loud for that episode. And so it happened with Sopranos, it happened with Wonderland, and it's a very cool thing to sit in that room. It happened with You Don't Know Jack, where you get to sit and you get to watch everybody do their thing, and you're a part of that circle. I got to do it with Corrections, which was an amazing project that unfortunately didn't, it was this TV movie with HBO was going to be a show, and then it kind of didn't happen. But
It didn't stick around. But
nah, but it was a pretty cool thing. Noah Baumbach directed it, and that was really fun.
Yeah.
And my audition with Noah Baumbach and the Scott Rudin,
Yeah.
he was there telling me what to do and whispering to Noah Baumbach, and I just kind of did my thing. But that was but it was a great project. It had these amazing people in the cast.
Yeah. Right.
With Ewan McGregor, and just really like great cast.
I'm just going through. You guys, there's so many things here. Love Repeat.
Love Repeat is a newer film that Bill Cunningham, as you see there on the left, he is my friend. He's an actor. He is a director. He teaches at Yale. He's written a book about the Alexander technique. He's a wonderful man, and he wrote this film and stars in it. And I got to coach the kids for the movie, and I also got to have a part in it. And it's a beautiful little romantic movie that's fun and funny. And I'm really proud of him and proud of that movie, because I used to sit with him while he went through the script and talked about through lines for characters, and how, he has a son in the movie, and how his son should be like him, like the more mature version of him for the comedy. And so we developed all these things, and now the movie is just having all this success. And I'm like, yay, on Amazon Prime. It's like, good for him.
I tell you.
Good for us. Good for everyone.
There's all these now venues and platforms too, like the Amazon Primes and Paramount Plus and Netflix and Hulu, Roku, HBO. Yep. There's so many different places where things can happen. Sweet and Lowdown.
That was Sweet and Lowdown was wonderful because my stuff was with Sean Penn. And he, another, one of those amazing respected actors. And my scenes were that he was giving guitar lessons as his character because he needed to make money. And so my son and I come to him, and he's trying to kind of lower himself to give guitar lessons and doesn't want to do it. And I'm really horrible, of course, and obnoxious and giving him a hard time. And he ends up, blowing up at me and saying he's never doing that again. But he was wonderful. The same kind of thing. He came over and was like, can we run lines and, let's connect. And he wanted to have a connection with me before we even stepped on front of the camera
Mm.
so that he could have a little history with me. And it was, it was just really nice. I had a wonderful time. Although I do have to tell you that it was a period movie, and I was so excited, a little nervous, got these period shoes, was supposed to walk up to this attic to film my scene. My heel of my shoe came off and I fell down the steps. I was there for like 3 minutes, about ready to go up and rehearse for Woody Allen, and you hear this giant thud and rolling, and I am bouncing down like 4 steps because my heel fell off my shoe and the nails went into the step. And I went to step anyway and went, whoop.
But I'm sure you did it as an actor as you are,
I
with
was,
grace and class.
I stood up and said, I'm just fine. Let's go.
I just threw that in for effect.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you turned around and you said, what a dump.
Oh my God. I did that same thing, which was not on purpose. When I auditioned for Silence of the Lambs, I had to go into, they had just called and said they're auditioning, women to be the dead body. So I show up and I walked in the room and I thought, obviously the concept was funny. So I said, hi, nice to meet you. What would you like me to do? Would you like to shoot and kill me? Do you want me to just lay down? Do you want me to fall dead? Would you like me to stage? I mean, I just was being kind of funny and, and entertaining, and talking to Ron Bozeman, who was the producer for the film. When it was done talking, I said, it was such a pleasure to meet you. And I turned around and I walked into the closet. I thought it was the door and it was the closet, and I smashed into it. And I turned around and I'm like, well, you won't forget me, will you? I just started laughing because it's like, what do you say when you've, blundered like that? And then about a half hour later, they called and they're like, we want her in our movie. So, and it turned out it was the fact that I was myself and had this great personality.
There's a theme here. There's a theme. You
notice there's a theme that easy to work with and being myself. And I think what's meant to be mine is mine. And therefore, when I'm myself and they like it, and then they take me. And if they don't like it, then, screw them, not meant for me. Right?
Right.
Bless them and move on. It's going to someone else.
Yes.
That's how it goes.
I had to learn that myself. Absolutely. And I bet you teach people that.
I do.
You teach, right?
I do. I teach, I coach actors, adults. I've run theater companies. I've directed plays. I've worked as assistant director on films. I really love the coaching, teaching, even like I worked in after school programs because I really like giving back. And I feel like the bringing out the uniqueness in kids, or adults or whoever it is for an audition, getting them to be their best. I've always kind of sold myself as a working actress, because I truly do know what it's like to work in the business.
Right.
I'm not the movie star, that everyone knows, but I do know how the business works, and I do know how to book jobs, thank God. And so I feel that those are things that people need to learn. It's, you need to know how to, my philosophy is when you audition, there's 2 parts. And the first part is walking in the door. Yeah. The second part is what you do for the character in your audition. But the first part is just coming in and being yourself.
And they're looking at you when you're doing that too. Right. Some people forget that the minute you walk in, you're being
exactly, and they want to know that you're friendly and they can work with you. Right. And there, in the old days they used to say, if you're going to play a killer, come in, and act crazy. But I don't think it's that way so much anymore. I think you want to be as much in character, but to me, it's about showing a versatility. That who I am and entertaining, it's like with Hallie in the movie, it's better that Luis have to call me up, the director, and say, are you, really a kidnapper of children, than it is for him to say, can you handle this role? You know what I
Right.
mean? I'd rather be able to bring my own personality after the fact and show my skill.
Well, that car scene with you guys in that tunnel, you had me convinced.
Thank
What
you.
tunnel did they shoot that in?
Is it the Louis Armstrong tunnel?
Okay, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
they had to shut down. I will tell you a funny little story, quick story. When we first were going to film for the stuff in the car, we rehearsed all the stuff with the stunt people, and she and I rehearsed, and then they talked about changing something, so we rehearsed again. They said, "Oh, you don't have to." Like, no, 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 we have to rehearse. So when we get ready to film, Luis comes over to me and says, Chris, this is Hallie, so be careful. I said, yeah, I know, I'll be careful. And then the stunt coordinator comes over to me and he's like, be careful that,
Yeah,
with Hallie. I
yeah.
said,
Go
don't
easy, go
worry,
easy.
don't
Yeah.
worry. Everybody had to come to me to tell me to be careful. So they yell action. We go to film the scene. We start to say our lines. We go to do our stuff. It takes 2 minutes and she slugs me in the eye.
That might have been a preemptive strike.
Well, we go on filming, and the minute they yell cut, everybody goes running over to her and says, "Are you okay? Or you're okay?"
And it's
she
your
goes,
eye that.
"Oh my God, I punched Chris in the face." It was like nobody cared, noticed that I got punched in the eye. Everybody wanted to make sure she was okay.
That she was
But
okay.
like I say, the cool chick that she is, she's like, "Oh my God, I punched you in the face. I'm
She
so
was looking
sorry."
out for you.
Yeah, pretty funny. But that was really, that movie was for me the next level for my acting.
Mhm.
Just because it's 6 weeks of the same thing and the same character, and
Yes.
the stunts and night shoots, and they filmed the whole thing in 28 days with 2 different crew sets.
Mm,
And I will
yeah.
tell you that when I first read the movie, I thought it says Margot, the character, drives away in the truck. And I was like, oh God, I don't have a driver's license. What am I going to do? And I thought, well, just don't say anything. So then when they cast me in the movie, of course, the whole time I'm thinking, I'm supposed to drive a truck at some point, and I don't drive. So we are filming and we're getting to like the last week and a half. And all of a sudden I see, in the advance dailies of what's coming up, Margot drives the truck away. Margot comes back in the truck. So I get on the phone and say, listen, I feel like I better warn you that I don't have a driver's license. And they said, oh, that's okay. We understand, and that's not a problem. And, we'll pass that on and we'll let people know. And so when it came time for that morning, I get into the van to go to set, and there's this guy, and I'm like, hi, I'm Chris. Who are you? And he says, I'm George. I'm going to teach you how to drive today. And I was like, oh my God. And as it turned out, he did not teach me to drive because we were too busy filming other stuff. And so Devin, my stunt person, she got to be the car, drive the truck, and wear a wig that looked like me. So I just laughed. I was like, oh, you think you're going to teach me after all these years?
After all these years
a couple hours
to do this.
Yeah, exactly. I'm seeing my phone
House
fade.
of Lies.
Oh, House of Lies. That was a blast.
Survival
Oh
of
my
the
God.
Slickest.
It was so much fun. Another one of those things where they gave me an audition. They said, you're a homeless person. They gave me a premise, and they said, there were no lines other than the premise idea. And they said, do not show us you as yourself. Just show us you as a homeless person. So I like ratted my hair and put on the dirt and put on the makeup and made myself look like a ratty old homeless person. And I sent them this video to LA, and they were coming to New York, to film, and they picked me. And I got to give Don Cheadle the finger, and it was a blast. It's a great little episode. That was fun because I had a few scenes in it, and
There's a nice shot too.
Really had a blast.
Before your phone dies out, I wanted to show this. Yeah. Isn't that a
Lou
great one?
Temple, he's great. Lou Temple is a wonderful actor. He's a regular on The Walking Dead,
Yeah.
and
I like his sport coat.
big in the Rob Zombie. He's very trendy, cowboy hats and plaids, and he's
Cool
into all that
jacket.
stuff.
Yeah.
That was fun because our movie, got delayed for 3 years.
There
We
you
filmed it in
go.
14.
There's the star.
Yeah, we
That's for
filmed it in
Kidnap, right?
14 and it didn't get to come out until 17. So by the time it came out, we were all like, "Oh my God, bring us this
Yeah.
movie." So it
And
was
this was
cool.
Kidnap, right? What was the
Yeah,
event here?
that was a Kidnap premiere in LA.
How was the premiere?
Yeah, in LA. It was great.
Mm.
So much fun. What a blast.
You're loving this ride, aren't you?
I
I
am
mean,
loving this
it's
ride.
just been,
I am loving this ride. I'm grateful. Get to meet people like you, and I get to share my experiences. And as my friend Cynthia says, that maybe someday I should write a book about all my parts as dead people and working the working class.
yes, just being me.
Yes,
There's your title.
exactly.
That's
a good title.
Yeah,
I'll have to throw you a few bucks.
And then have Billy Joel sing it, right? I like you just the way
that would be
you
lovely.
are, right? Just the way you are.
That would be nice.
It's been working, Chris.
Yes.
It's been working.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
You are a riot, a hoot, a holler, and really, really cool to chat with. And I hope, because we're right here in the New York, New Jersey tri-state area, we get to break bread and meet in person. That would be very cool.
That.
I would love
that. And I'm to all your fans and followers and your peeps. I love it. I'm so honored to be a part of it all.
You're now a Lovity. Kind of cool.
I am now, and I am subscribed and following, and I've got all the things marked.
Everything. Yeah. Today you have to do all this stuff, right? The Twitter, the Instagram, the TikTok, the Facebook, the
I'm
LinkedIn,
not the TikTok. No TikTok for me. I'm a little old for the TikTok.
You're not the TikTok?
No TikTok, no kid I have to impress.
The only TikTok you got is the cuckoo clock in the kitchen, right? That's the only one. Before your phone dies out there, what are some of the blessings and joys in your life that continue to inspire you to do all of this incredible work?
What are I would say my friends and the actually, being in New York and making it, I have so many friends that had left the business just because they didn't want to deal with the business of the business. And so I feel it's been a blessing to be supported and to be encouraged, because every time I've kind of gone, oh my God, I'm so sick of this business and how it operates, because it's not always a happy day. I have something great happens, and I hear from someone reaches out, or someone writes something nice on a page to me and says they watch a movie, and it really just moves me that, I get to be a small part of it all that I always dreamed of doing from St. Louis.
Yes, absolutely. And you're not a Cardinals fan?
I was a Cardinals fan. I grew up as a Cardinals fan.
What happened
the long story short was Joe Torre was my favorite player when I was a child. Yeah. That tells you my age.
One of the best.
And then when he came to the Yankees, the rest is history. All those pretty boys, Mariano and Derek and Tino. Hello, Andy Pettit. Core 4, Bernie Williams. I was hooked.
I want to show you some of the Lovity coming in here. Juanita, who's watching from South Africa, one of our regular Lovities. She goes, you can definitely fill a book with all your great stories. Thank you, Chris, for spending time with us and sharing your wonderful career. Alessandra in North Carolina says, thank you for being on the show. What great stories. Mary Bishop in Pine Island, Florida says, this was a wonderful conversation, Chris. Good luck in all your future endeavors. Kathy Short in Cleveland, never short on wonderful words. She says this, and she's an Indians fan. So if she's not here one night, they're home and she's at the park rooting on
I
her
hear.
Cleveland Indians. Well, actually,
I hear.
one of our lovelies, who is actually a personal friend,
Baseball's a
Kathleen.
good sport,
Oh, I
no matter
love it.
which team you follow.
She works, Kathleen, who's not here tonight. She works with the New York Mets, and they're home.
Oh,
So she's
there you
and
go,
and she
my
gets
friend.
mad. She gets mad when they're home. Like, I want to watch the Jim Masters show live.
Oh,
And
that's
the
so
role that
cute.
she has, she can't because she's very busy. She can't watch
Right.
it on her phone. So she'll watch it in the archives and get us on the nights that they're not home. She goes, perfect way to spend a Friday evening. Thank you both, Kathy and Cleveland. Thank you. Dawn says, God bless you, Chris. I'm glad I got to meet you. She loves the shows that you're in. Merlin says, thanks, Chris.
Oh no, don't
from
tell
Canada.
me. I lost you.
No, you're there. We see you.
You'll come back. You try to come back.
You're there. Oh, that's funny. I tell you, this is, here we're talking about television and movies and film and, all these major productions and, I work in television and radio and stage and film. She's film and television. And, that can happen on television too. I guess what would you say, gang? She's beside herself. She's been so bowled over that she was a guest on the Jim Masters show live that she is beside herself. She's there. She's a little frozen. What way would I? This is like doing the weather. Where's Alaska and where's Florida? Do I turn this? I don't know where. I guess I'd have to turn. I was going to try to meet her in the middle and sort of turn wherever. But at least we got the bulk of everything in there. And she told us about her blessings and her joys and that she loved being on the show. She loves the flavor and the vibe and everything about what we do here, which is very special and unique. And all of you lovelies being here. And she got to see the comments as well. And she'll also see that she's trying to get back in, but her battery life cut out. Thank you, Chris, for being here tonight. And she has shared this episode, which I hope you guys do. I hope you share the links to these episodes on your social media, your Facebook pages. And I know some of you do that, and we really appreciate that. That helps us out big time as well. So, share it. I know she's been doing that as well. And Sherry says, thank you, Chris, for being here tonight. Love your bubbly personality and stories. I think it was cool. And Merlin in Canada says, thank you, Chris, as well. What great stories, right? And if you joined us late, go back in the archives. And Alessandra, thank you. I know you always share the links to our episodes on your Facebook and Twitter pages. That helps us a lot. So keep spreading the word. Keep doing that. Helps us grow and also helps us to continue to do what we do. Joan Sando says, wow, Jim, you're better than Johnny, Mike, and Regis, or whoever. They just had to interview people. You're really conversing. And besides reading all the comments, you're the best. Oh, thank you very much. That's a very beautiful thing to say. And I appreciate that very, very much. The Dennis Quaid butt, her being asked to play that. If you missed that, if you joined us late and you don't know what that's about, you will have to go back in time. Amazing. Just quickly scan through some of the incredible things. I mean, we didn't even touch everything that she's been in. The Sopranos, Orange is the New Black. Again, that's another great shot there too, with Halle Berry. Sex and the City and Bringing Out the Dead and Curb Your Enthusiasm and Ed, and it's extraordinary. Mickey Blue Eyes, of course, Schenectady, New York, 100 Center Street as well. Actually, she's calling on the phone. Chris?
I'm calling you back to say, as my characters, so does my phone die.
Well, you know what? We're still on. So the speakerphone, did you want to say anything to the lovelies?
I just wanted to say I had to call back and say to me to leave a dramatic exit. I'm so grateful. It was so much fun. I think you are the best, and I am so excited to be a part of the levities. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
This was hilarious. I mean, that was, what a way to exit. I mean, it charged everything up. It was exit stage left. It was very dramatic.
I thought it would be impressive.
It was terrific. And what happened was your screen went sideways. So I was trying to lean sideways and meet you in the middle. And I said, you know what it is, folks? I said, she's so bowled over that she was a guest tonight on the Jim Masters Show Live. She's literally beside herself.
Exactly. I am beside myself. And then I just died, just like my characters.
Well, it's happened before, when you're live on the air, anything can happen, as you know, and I know. And
I know.
if it's going to happen, sometimes it does. But
I had to call back to just say thank you to everyone and how wonderful it was. And I'm in your crew.
We love that. We love that. You are we're putting your picture up too, so they see your picture. It's like you're in the witness protection program or something.
Yes, I'm hiding out.
Yeah, the mouth isn't moving.
I'm in jail, actually. I have to be on the phone for so long.
You didn't pay the phone bill, huh? You're supposed to have didn't they tell you have to have a lot of quarters near you so you can put them in the little payphone?
They let it go for so long, and then you have to get off. So.
You know what? What's really cool is we chatted for literally, it's almost 2 hours, but a lot of people say that it doesn't feel like that.
Oh, that's nice. I'm glad. I'm so glad. It didn't feel like that for me either. I loved it. That's what I'm saying. It was so much fun. And I know I'm talking about myself, but I also feel like we're all sharing and, and enjoying and just entertaining, as you said, each other.
Exactly. So while you're calling in, it sounds like you're calling in with a late breaking news update. How's the traffic and the weather out there?
It's okay. It's okay. But word got to me while I was getting my phone back that the Yankees are losing to the Mets. So
they're losing to the Mets. Yes.
Your friend will be happy, and I am very sad. I've gone from very happy to very sad.
Very sad. Oh my God. Well, you are very cool. I just want to a couple of quick things. Lovely hug from Alessandra, and Juanita goes, Chris is such a lot of fun. Love this. Sherry in Kansas says, love it, Chris. We love you, Chris. Joan Sando says, I'm a Yankees fan. Roy White, Jeter, Munson. Thurman Munson, that was a loss. We are all family here. That's what makes us so special. Great way to say goodnight. Keep us hanging. Juanita said that in South Africa. You were testing to see if I'm a professional, if I could vamp and fill, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was seeing if you were paying attention.
Paying attention, exactly. And fortunately, ad-libbing is one of my strengths. I've been in many of these situations.
You could have done the whole thing. Just talked about me.
And just showed.
I could have just watched.
And just showed a few photos, and that's it, right?
Hey, look at this girl. We'll see her someday.
You're something else.
Thank you. Well, the feeling's mutual.
Well, thank you very much. As I say to all the guests, now go stretch those legs and get that circulation going. And I don't know, you probably can't see the screen unless you have your computer on. So when you watch this later, you can see what I'm doing right now. We usually surprise the guest with George Burns with us. And we have this really cool George Burns collector doll that we're showing right now on the screen. So George Burns is here. And George Burns just wanted to say, you did good tonight, kiddo.
Thanks. The feeling is mutual. You are my mirror.
Exactly right. Kindred spirits, my friend. Thanks.
For sure. Thank you all. I really appreciate it. Till the next time.
Absolutely. Thanks, Chris. You're the best. You take care, okay?
Thanks, you too.
All right. Bye-bye now. Now, what's going to top that? I tell you, we're professionals. We know how she is, and we just throw it together. I saw her calling, and I said, you know what? And I think that happened once before with one of our guests, where they called in. Their phone died, their computer died, something happened, and they called in, and we just wrapped it up. Was it Ruta Lee? I think was it Ruta? She was in Mexico at her Mexican retreat. And we're going to have her back on the show too. Great episode. If you didn't see the episode with Ruta Lee, the legend. But I think she finished it up with a phone call because she wanted to wrap it up neatly. And she thanked me, and she thanked our viewers, our lovities. And that's what Chris did. Wasn't that cool? I'm glad I took that call. I saw it ringing, and fortunately it said her name on the screen. What a fun Friday, huh? Again, like I say on the Jim Masters Show Live, you never know what's going to happen. We roll with it. It's freestyle conversation, warm and inviting, and it's pretty cool. And we've designed and created something very, very special here for all of you. We're live on the air. You guys get to interact. The guests have a good time. I have a great time. Doing the shows, creating and building and producing the shows for all of you as well. And tonight was a lot of fun as well. They're all fun. Tonight was really something cool. I was showing us, as she was calling in, I was showing us just some of the other things that she's been involved in. And of course, You Don't Know Jack with Al Pacino, and Wonderland, and House of Lies, and just movies and television and stage. She also teaches as well. She does voiceover work. That's the Netflix original 7 Seconds. And of course, The Silence of the Lambs, that legendary, the TV series on NBC, Law and Order, Special Victims Unit, and the original Law and Order. Kidnap, Halle Berry, she was talking about that. Even several times on Late Night with Conan O'Brien. The soap opera, All My Children, Jessica Jones. These are just some of the things that she's been involved in. But more importantly, she's been right here with us on the Jim Masters Show Live. Perfect wrap up. Absolutely. I agree. I don't think she or I could have scripted anything better than that. That was really, really fun. And sometimes, believe it or not, I love when things happen like that. It just changes it up a little bit. And it's happened to me so many times in my professional work. We got to jump, and you got to think, and you got to react. And I know Chris is the same way. And I love sometimes when things like that happen. You know why? Because it challenges me to have to keep going, make sure, everything is still smooth, and I'm connected with you guys, and nothing goes wrong, and keep filling in the blanks. And then when she calls, making sure I grab the line, get her on, have her interact and say goodnight to all of you through the phone. Good night, Jim. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you very much. And Merlin is still laughing. She is laughing, and really love the show. Thank you, Alessandra. So did I. Quite the goodbye. I agree. That was something, and really, really cool. One for the record books, one of many. If you look back at our episodes, what a great ending to the conversation. Lovety hug. You guys are the best. Thanks to Chris McGinn for joining us live and direct from New York City and sharing a little of her life experience with us here. And we'll have her back as well. And boy, I have a lot of people to break bread with, don't I? In New York and LA and Chicago and overseas. And whew, I'm going to have to go on a low carb diet after all this bread breaking that I'm going to be doing with everybody. But some people I already know, who come on the show. I know them personally before they're guests. And then some become friends as their guests. Hey, want to let you know that tomorrow, don't miss it. We're on earlier tomorrow, Saturday afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, with a really, really, really cool show. This is renowned author Lee Tannen. His book is I Loved Lucy, My Friendship with Lucille Ball. Photos, stories, memories, warts and all, he says. He's going to share it all with us tomorrow, live on the Jim Masters Show Live. That's this Saturday, tomorrow, at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. Monday, wow, another legend. She was on Room 222, the legendary series in the 1970s. She was on the NBC series In the Heat of the Night with the one and only Carol O'Connor. Carol O'Connor, of course, played Archie Bunker and All in the Family and so much more. Denise Nicholas is with us. Not only a veteran actress, multitude of television shows and movies and so much more, but an activist for civil rights and a prolific author as well. She's going to be with us coming up on Monday. The Jim Masters Show Live is right here on our YouTube channel. We invite and welcome you and hope you'll subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't, and share the channel. Tell everybody you know about our channel. And when you subscribe, there's no cost to it. You just hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell so you never miss any of our incredible episodes and all the fun here on JMS. And again, it's a channel dedicated to entertaining, informing, and educating and inspiring. Zen Place. We talk about Zen places, right? My Zen Place is the work I do in television, radio, stage, and film over the years as well. And of course, the most Zen is time with loving family and friends, and the ocean. The ocean is my Zen place as well. We're right here by the ocean, and it's a Zen place. Don't forget to smile, folks, as well. We always say that, and don't forget to share the levity. And tonight, sometimes we forget this, but tonight we're going to say, since it's the weekend, don't forget to relax. Don't forget to breathe, love one another, take care of one another, and take time for yourself. And everybody's welcome here, regardless of your zip code and your age and your income and political views, religious views, height, weight, eye color. None of that matters. You're all welcome to join us here to have some fun with us on the Jim Masters Show Live. We learned something new, we're educated, and we just really have a good time. We put a lot of time and energy into all these shows, and hopefully you guys notice that. Always a pleasure to have you guys here. We wish you a wonderful rest of your night. For those of you who aren't watching this live, you're watching this later in the archives, thank you as well. We appreciate you. Give us a thumbs up and leave a comment on our YouTube channel. That means the world to us. And Christine Clifton says, you'll need a banquet room to have these breaking bread meals, Jim, on the East and West. Gather many lovities. I think you're right, Christine. Hey, gang, I have the details of the Lovity Cruise. Yes, there is a specially designed on a beautiful new cruise ship. I met with my friends who own the travel agency this week, and they put together a very special package. You guys, there was a couple of options, different places, and it was narrowed down by a lot of you and others who aren't with us tonight. You wanted to do something a little bit closer and a little bit shorter, since it's the first one we're doing. And we're looking at, we're either going to do it next year or May of 2023, because that's actually one of the best times to go. It also gives people a little more time. Our special Bermuda Lovity Cruise. And it's on this beautiful new Norwegian cruise ship. Brand new. It's going to be brand new when we go on it. And I know many of you have expressed wanting to join us on the special Lovity Cruise. Some of the guests who you've seen stop by JMS Live also want to be on this, and this is a custom designed cruise just for our show. It's called the Bermuda JMS Lovity Cruise, and it's really cool. So we're going to be posting some of the information for you, so you can take a look at that, and it's going to be really, really cool. And good night, Jim and Lovity family. Great show once more. Have a lovely Saturday. We're having Gabriella's birthday party tomorrow. Actual birthday's on Sunday. That is fantastic. Another September baby, like me, like Maureen. Catch the show in the archives. We're not here on Sunday. We're off on Sunday, family day. So we're not here Sunday. So the show we have this weekend is tomorrow. No show tomorrow night, just tomorrow. And tomorrow is 9/11. We may have something special that we do for 9/11. So check that out on our YouTube channel. There might be something that I'm planning on doing, actually, commemorating 9/11, which, believe it or not, is tomorrow. 20 years ago, It was September 11th, 2001. So I might be doing something special that we might air in the evening. So I'll keep you posted on Facebook, and I'll keep you posted on our YouTube channel. But we are here tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern live with Lee Tannen, the author of I Loved Lucy, My Friendship with Lucille Ball. That's going to be amazing. So happy birthday to Maureen, who's celebrating her birthday this weekend. Gabriella. Maybe we'll sing a quick happy birthday to Gabriella. Since her birthday comes up on Sunday and we are not here on Sunday, we'll be back on Monday. We're here tomorrow again, just so it's all clear for everybody. We are here tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, with Lee Tannen, and then we're here on Monday with Denise Nichols. We might have something special commemorating 9/11, which would be tomorrow night. But happy birthday to Gabriella, and maybe we'll sing something quick. All right. Everybody going to join me in happy birthday for Gabriella, right? Again, my voice has not been prepared for this. I've been on the air all day today, but hey, we got to do it. 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Warming up the voice here. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Gabriella. We love you at the Jim Masters Show Live, or as we call it, JMS Live. Happy birthday to you. There you go. Happy birthday, Gabriella. I need to get myself on Cameo. That's what everybody keeps telling me. Happy birthday, Gabriella. I know Juanita will show Gabriella this episode because Gabriella's probably in bed sleeping right now at this late hour in South Africa. So happy birthday to Gabriella and anybody else who's celebrating birthdays this weekend, whether you're watching live or you're just watching our show. All right. Juanita says, oh, she's going to Freak. La Freak. Say chic. Anybody remember that disco song? Thank you, Jim. My pleasure. And a pleasure. Christine says, Chris has really had quite a career. The story is hilarious, interesting, loved her. Great night all together. Good night, Jim, and lovely friends. Hugs to all. Thank you very much. And love to you and your mother as well, Christine. And thank you doing something 9/11 and cool stuff. You guys are the best. So happy birthday to anybody that's celebrating a birthday, happy anniversary, or if you're just celebrating life, gang, if you're just celebrating life, you've come to the right place. All right, we're going to wrap up. I've done a lot of talking today, so I think we're going to go. We're going to wrap it up here. You guys are truly the best. We love you all. We thank you all for being with us. And you just be well. You take care of yourselves. We'll be back tomorrow with Lee Tannen right here for you on the Jim Masters Show Live. Love you all. Spread the word about our show. That means a lot. One more comment coming in. It's a good one. Good night. Oh, another one. And Gabriella, enjoy the party tomorrow. Absolutely. Party this weekend. Good night, all. Sweet dreams and hugs from Sherry in Kansas, USA. Gang, we love you all. You take care. You be well. And thanks for being with us. Fun night today on the Jim Masters Show Live. Check you later. Bye-bye. Good night.